ꯊꯣꯛꯄꯅ ꯐꯠꯇꯕ꯭ꯔꯥꯕ
ꯍꯣꯏ ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯆꯦꯛꯁꯤꯟꯕꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯀꯥꯞꯄꯨꯔꯣ ꯑꯩ ꯀꯥꯞꯄꯣꯏ
ꯑꯁ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦꯗ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯉꯥꯡꯅꯗꯣꯏꯅꯣ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯩ ꯐꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯆꯠꯂꯨꯈꯤꯒꯦ ꯄꯨꯡꯉꯣ ꯃꯃꯥꯏꯗ
First, the top news headlines. NPP President Conrad Sangma claimed NPP will definitely form the government in Manipur. Special Commando rescued truck driver kidnapped by suspected NSC and IM. And India reports that 9,283 COVID-19 cases in 24 hours, 22% higher than yesterday. Hello, good afternoon and welcome. This is ELITETV with the 3 p.m. English news and updates. And I'm your host, HEMABATI. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face mask when out in public, wash hands regularly and maintain a minimum of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play our part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. NPP National President and Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Conrad Sangma, claims that NPP will definitely form the government in Manipur. He said this during an exclusive interview with ELITETV News. He further said NPP will field more than 30 candidates in the upcoming 2022 general election. Here's an exclusive report.
With me is the Chief Minister of Meghalaya and President of NPP. So we'd like to know, sir, what is your strategy regarding the coming election of Manipur?
You see, in Manipur, the political scenario is such that there's a huge vacuum and people are looking for an alternative. People have put their trust in other political parties in the past and they strongly feel that they need an alternative. So seeing that scenario, we have been projecting ourselves as an alternative. And in that scenario, a lot of potential candidates who are doing very well, we have attracted them to other parties. A lot of them have joined and many more will join in the coming days. So therefore, as a political party, we have projected ourselves as an alternative because of the vacuum that's there. And seeing the response of the people coming in from other parties as well as independent candidates who were looking for parties to contest, who are having a very strong ground presence, have joined us. And seeing that, we are quite confident that we will be doing very well in this coming election.
Okay. How many candidates are going to fill in the coming election?
Well, we have started off accepting a large number of candidates. We may have crossed 30 by now. Exact numbers are not with me. But seeing the trend, we may even cross 40 to 45 candidates. But it all depends on the scenario and the situation as it unfolds. The election committee is going to be announced very soon for the state. So once the election committee comes up, it will be the appropriate body to take the decision on those aspects. But keeping the scenario in mind and the response that we're getting, we should be putting up candidates in majority of the seats in the state.
Okay. You're mentioning about in every public meetings you are mentioning about you get the absolute majority, single largest party in Manipur. How far is it true that how many candidates filling and how do you get the single largest party?
Yeah, we are not saying absolute majority. There's a difference between absolute and single largest. So yes, the way the trend is going and the way the response we're getting, we do hope and expect that we will be the single largest. And even the response we're getting from the public is indicating towards the fact that we will be the single largest. But of course, all depends on the people's mandate. But as I said, looking at the entire scenario that's there in the state of Manipur, people are looking for an alternative. And therefore, we are expecting that people will vote in large numbers for the NPP this time, and we will come out as a single largest party.
Okay. Is there any pre-poll alliance or post-poll alliance? Is there any strategy of your party?
See, NPP has always maintained that we are a party which is independent. We are a party that has its own ideologies and its own visions. And therefore, we fight the election on our own terms. So the question of pre-poll alliance is not there, because if we have pre-poll alliance, that means we are diluting our stand and our priorities, which we will not agree on. But obviously, if the situation happens where we don't get enough numbers to form the government on our own, then we have to look for partners. So in those situations, post-poll alliances may happen. But all of that depends on the numbers and scenario that unfolds. So we'll have to wait for that. But pre-poll, there is no question. We never have pre-poll in any election, simply because of the fact that we have our own ideologies and we stand on our ideologies.
Okay. So right now in Manipur, BJP and NPP is going and forming a coalition government. But right now election is knocking on the door. But we have seen that so many allegation and counter allegation is happening between BJP and NPP. Why is this?
That's the nature of politics. We are two different parties. We have our own ideologies. As a government, yes, we worked. Even while forming the government and working as a government, we had our differences. It was very much open also. At one point in time, some of our MLAs had decided that we will not support the BJP. So these kind of situations do happen in coalition politics, and it's nothing that is out of the blue that there are differences. So allegations, counter allegations happen, even in the coalition. And obviously in election time there will be, because that's the nature of politics. And BJP will say a lot of things about us, and we will say a lot of things about BJP. But what is important is that we must always do it with a sense of respect. We should always do it with a sense of positivity. We should not use wrong systems and measures in election. And election should be fought on democratic principles and on issues that are important. So if we have got any allegations based on issues that we believe in against the BJP, then it's for the good of the people. So we're not doing something negatively. We're doing it positive sense. Any criticism we do also will be positive. So therefore, these are natural parts of politics and election. And I'm sure that all the political parties will play the same way.
Okay, last question. What will be your election agenda in the coming election? What will be your manifesto? You are mentioning about the inclusion of Meitei and Meitei Pangal in the ST list. So how far you can do it, and what is your, election agenda and your manifesto?
See, we as a party have always stood for the rights of the indigenous people. We have always believed in protecting the indigenous people. We have always believed in making sure that it is protected, preserved and promoted. So therefore, keeping that in mind, whatever has to be done from the state government or the party side, we will always move towards protecting and promoting our indigenous people. Overall agenda for the party as a whole, we have always maintained that we have always seen Northeast and the economics of Northeast as a primary aspect for us. So economics and development will play a primary role in this election campaign for us. We have also worked for, as I said, cultural identity of the people. That's important for us, protection and promotion of that. We have also seen that youth and women is an area which we want to focus on, and hence we are having this youth conference today. So these are the main agendas based on which we will fight in this election.
Okay. What is the message to the people of Manipur?
My message to the people of Manipur is that we as a party, we have been always standing for the Northeast. We are the only political party in the entire Northeast region that has promoted and worked for the people of the Northeast. And for us to work in the future together so that we can work in a much more stronger manner, we need the support of the people of Manipur and the Northeast in general. So I appeal to the people of Manipur that this election is the ideal time for you to support the NPP and its candidature. And I'm sure that people of Manipur will support. And with that support, we'll be able to take Manipur state forward.
Thank you so much, sir. That was the Chief Minister of Meghalaya and the President of NPP. So that is the question that NPP will trying to form the government in the coming election. With camera person Sanjoy, this is Z Ningomba, Elite News, Patsoy.
A team of Special Commando Unit rescued a Tata truck driver suspected to be kidnapped by well-armed NSC and IM cadres yesterday afternoon. However, the armed militant managed to escape. According to police sources, the rescued driver has been identified as 39-year-old Nungyaymayum Firoz Khan, son of Nungyaymayum Abdul Kalam of Lilong Turel Hanbi Boroimakong, Thobal district. The source said at around 2:30 p.m., the special commando team detected a young boy near a Tata truck in a suspicious manner in Maryland area in Nonne district. Upon verification of the young boy, the team came to know that the driver of the Tata truck bearing registration number MN018832 had been kidnapped by an armed militant suspected to be an SCNIM. Immediately, the team conducted a search of the truck driver and managed to rescue him without any harm. However, the armed militant managed to escape. The truck driver Firoz Khan told the police team that two armed cadres of NSCN-IM kidnapped him and demanded payment for the gate pass. But somehow he managed to pay a sum of Rs 500 by calling another person through telephonic call, as he claimed that he did not have any money at that time. He said that the two cadres again demanded payment of 1 year vehicle tax from him. In return, he told them that he cannot pay at that instant. On hearing his reply, the NSCN-IM cadres began assaulting him with bamboo on his shoulder, leg and hands and was kidnapped at gunpoint. Firoz further expressed his fear of what would have happened to him if he had not met the Special Commando team and thanked him for saving his life. Later, the Special Commando unit team brought back the driver and the young boy to Imphal and safely returned them to their homes. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh today attended a presentation by Karkinos Healthcare on setting up of Cancer Control Center in the state. Karkinos Healthcare will be setting up a state-of-the-art Greenfield Center at the Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Sciences, Jennings premises in Porompat, Imphal. The land has already been allocated by the government of Manipur on a long-term lease at the Jennings premises. An outreach hub and spoke program will be developed further, with the hospital being the hub of the health and wellness centers, HWCs, primary healthcare centers, PHCS, and district hospitals, DHS, being the screening and diagnostic hub and spoke centers. Edifice Consultants Private Limited is the healthcare consultant for the entire multidisciplinary design of the hospital. The project is inspired by the Loktak Lake and Kangla Fort and to engage local arts as major elements. In commemoration of the 96th birth anniversary of Sri Satya Sai Baba, the devotees gathered at the Kaubam Sai Mandir, Sagolban, Tera Kham Lekai and gifted blankets to the aged and elderly as part of the celebration. Furthermore, the Sai Bhaktas sang 12 bhajans and they were provided with vests and blankets as well. In continuation with the celebration, the devotees of Kaubam Sai Mandir went to Raja Dumbra Singh Women Home, RDSWH, located at Purana Rajbari, Nongmaibung, and gifted more blankets and financial aid to old-age women residents. Ketumayum Subadani stated every year Iswarama Day was celebrated on November 23rd, and the devotees assembled at Tera Sai Mandir and presented clothes, food items and financial assistance to old-age home, senior citizen home and children's home. They are doing the same this year and will continue the same in future too. Kabui Mothers Association, IPSA, Ekomlu, Pandam, Kil, Kanglamai, CLK, KSA and Jalyarung Union will initiate action according to law against those who gave derogatory comments to the freedom fighter Rani Gaidinliu. Speaking on the issue, Pandam President Yumnamcha Dilbukumar said that the defamation of the great freedom fighter of the state on social media by a person from Kuki community is quite uncalled for. He further stated that Chief Minister Nongthomam Biren's silence on the issue is quite unfortunate, given the fact that the Chief Minister took up immediate action against anyone who spoke adversely of him on social media in the past.
Mahangna Laipaki over Lusingi Amabu, Aduga, Purku over Lusingi Tanatana, later of Haraki Prime Minister Zawalan, Runa Piramiba, Barani, having told Pankrabi, ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯕ ꯄꯗꯃ ꯁ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤꯡ ꯂꯩꯄꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯈꯨꯗꯝꯅꯤꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯦꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯀꯌꯥꯅ ꯂꯩꯇꯦꯡꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯝꯇ ꯊꯥꯏꯅꯅ ꯉꯥꯡꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯇꯥꯕꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯋꯥꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯆꯞ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯂꯤꯒꯦꯜ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯟ ꯂꯧꯅꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯧꯔꯥꯡ ꯇꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯈꯪꯉꯕ ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠꯅ ꯇꯨꯃꯤꯟꯅ ꯂꯩꯁꯟꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯕꯛ ꯊꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯗු ꯀꯥꯡꯂꯨꯞ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠꯅ ꯃꯤꯔꯥꯏꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠꯅ ꯇꯨꯃꯤꯟꯅ ꯂꯩꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯅꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯆꯤꯐ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯌꯣꯛꯇ ꯉꯥꯡꯉꯛꯄ ꯏꯔꯛꯄ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯇꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯛꯇ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯟ ꯂꯧꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯂꯩꯄꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯅꯦꯁꯅꯦꯜꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕꯤ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯝꯗ ꯉꯥꯡꯉꯛꯄꯗ ꯉꯁꯤꯐꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯇꯨꯃꯤꯟꯅ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯕꯛ ꯊꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠꯅ ꯇꯨꯃꯤꯟꯅ ꯂꯩꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯞꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯗꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯆꯞ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯟ ꯂꯧꯅꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯧꯔꯥꯡ ꯇꯧꯗꯨꯅ
Kids Foundation School, Airport Road, bagged the Best School in Futuristic Education 2021 award during the Global Education Summit and Convocation organized by International Internship University at Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs Auditorium. The trophy and award were handed over to the school's founder, Wahingbam Brajabidhu Singh, for his contribution in imparting unique education to students. It may be mentioned that the school has bagged numerous awards in the past for its contribution to the society. Now, before we move on, it's time for a short break. We'll be right back. To stay tuned.
Sayon Hospital na Hagsel gi Maikaida awon ba ama purakna bagi khongthangda Nambol Bazar gi Koireng Road ta hospital ama hangdoktuna ana laing gi khudong chaba piba hauzare. Medicine, ENT, Gynecology, Orthopedics, Pediatrics na chingba departments kaya amada laing ba chathari. 24/7 gi facilities piduna X-ray, ultrasound, special and routine laboratory test kaya tawbagi khudong chaba su pizari. Sayon Hospital asina adongi isabu nadeyekta na lainaba laing naba hotnabada achoba thodang lauduna adongi punsibu nungayay faba punsima oinabagi pandam thamli didim lambida tangna tomthin ngaliba hospital asina adongi laing bagi maikaida achoba thodang lauzari. Sayon Healthcare and Research Institute, Nambol Makha, Koireng Road. Contact number 038529567111.
Rohan Film, cyclist and philanthropist na Cycling for Humanity campaign gi makada kunai asigi sotharaba kanglup singbu tengbang duna lakli. Reading e-ride na paikhat chariba One Household, One E-Scooter campaign asidasu hena mapungfa na ba mating pangminas.
Manipur gumba pikraba state asidadi ekoina chachok chashin tawriba jaga singsi khudna lamba pumba jaga da ngaktoba maram aduna mayam gi damakta leijare environmental friendly oiriba adongi perfect partner e-scooter. One Household, One E-Scooter hairiba campaign asida mayam khudimmaksu sharuk yaminasi.
For more queries, please visit our showroom at Sangai Pronintem Call, Moirang Patlo or Tobal Atokpam. And do visit our website arambai2020.com or Arambai 2020 app.
Welcome back. More news and updates. CAF and PD Minister Thokchom Satyabrata inaugurated 2 election offices at Wangkai Amulerak polling station 14/33 and Wangkai Koijam Lekai 14/16 of Yai School AC. CHMT cards were also distributed as part of the inauguration event. India has reported 9,283 new COVID-19 cases and 437 deaths in the last 24 hours, according to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It comes a day after the country saw 7,579 COVID-19 cases and 236 deaths. India's active caseload stood at 1,11,481, the lowest in 537 days, while the daily positivity rate stood at 0.80%. On the other hand, AIMS Director Dr. Randeep Guleria has said that the chance of any huge wave is declining with each passing day. It is very unlikely that all will see a huge third COVID-19 wave. He added all are well protected and he thinks all should focus on getting more and more people to get the first and second dose vaccines. Meanwhile, AIMS Director Dr. Randeep Guleria on Tuesday said that COVID-19 will become endemic and will continue to have cases. Further adding, there will be some patients who will be sick, but it will not be of the magnitude that also in the first and second waves, and most of us will be protected. Symbiosis University has announced registrations for Symbiosis National Aptitude Test till 27th November 2021. Conducted across 94 cities, aspirants appearing for SNAP 2021 will be allowed to take 2 attempts, and the highest test score out of the 2 will be considered for the final percentile calculation. The test allows admissions to 15 Symbiosis B schools and 26 MBA programs. The Biden administration has invited Taiwan to its Summit for Democracy next month, according to a list of participants published on Tuesday, a move likely to infuriate China, which views the democratically governed island as its territory. The first of its kind gathering is a test of President Joe Biden's assertion, announced in his first foreign policy address in office in February, that he would return the United States to global leadership to face down authoritarian forces led by China and Russia. There are 110 participants on the State Department's invitation list for the virtual event on December 9 and 10, which aims to help stop democratic backsliding and the erosion of rights and freedoms worldwide. The list does not include China or Russia. The invite for Taiwan comes as China has stepped up pressure on countries to downgrade or sever relations with the island, which is considered by Beijing to have no right to the trappings of a state. Self-ruling Taiwan says Beijing has no right to speak for it. Sharp differences over Taiwan persisted during a virtual meeting earlier this month between Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping. While Biden reiterated long-standing U.S. support for the One China policy, under which it officially recognizes Beijing rather than Taipei, he also said he strongly opposes unilateral efforts to change the status quo or undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Xi said that those in Taiwan who seek independence and their supporters in the U.S. were playing with fire. Rights groups question if Biden's Summit for Democracy can push those world leaders who are invited, some accused of harboring authoritarian tendencies, to take meaningful action. The Ukrainian naval patrol boat Kremenchuk churns out into the gun-grey waters of the Sea of Azov, one mounted machine gun pointing at, another pointing forward into the drizzle. Commander Ivan Ovchar explains his ship's mission is to defend and maintain the sovereignty of Ukraine. The threat, the officer and many of Ukraine's allies believe, comes from Russia. For weeks, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been expressing growing concern about Moscow's military activity on Ukraine. We don't know what President Vladimir Putin's intentions are, but we do know what's happened in the past, referring to Russian military incursions, acknowledged or not, into neighboring countries. We do know the playbook of trying to cite some illusory provocation from Ukraine or any other country and then using that as an excuse to do what Russia is planning to do all along. The Kremlin has responded by accusing Western countries of hysteria about Russia invading Ukrainian border. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitetv.in or call 940-289-0982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. Now, before we wind up for this afternoon, let's have a quick look at the headlines once again. NPP President Conrad Sangma claimed NPP will definitely form the government in Manipur. Special Commando rescued truck driver kidnapped by suspected NSCN IM. And India reports 9,283 COVID-19 cases in 24 hours, 22% higher than yesterday. Now that's all for the 3 p.m. English news and updates. We'll be back with more in the evening. Thank you for tuning in and have a good day.